It is still March, which means it is still Self-Harm Awareness Month, and it is still a conversation you and I are going to have about that. And we're going to do that today. I found a beautiful article from the South African Federation for Mental Health. I think that would be a very informative one. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. Are you going to have it with me? Please take a seat, get yourself a drink. I got me some water because heavy topics require some hydration. I want to get a few things first out the way. My name is Mbali, if you were not aware of that. Unasa's mental health name is Mbali, founder of Special Wellness Initiative, and we are still offering navigation and support sessions. So if you can head over to our website, you will find either our contact details for WhatsApp, or you can just click on navigation and support on our website and you can book yourself a session. It is a one-on-one session that we have with you and 3 check-in sessions for support. The 3 check-in support are very important because we understand that navigating your mental health is not an easy thing to do, and it is important that you understand that you are not alone and you're not navigating it alone. So we will be there with you on that. So do check it out. Otherwise, check out all our other social media platforms. We are Special Wellness Initiative, and we just try to raise awareness as much as we can. And so last time we found out that it was ED Awareness Week for the last week of Feb, and now it is Self-Harm Awareness Month in March, and we are going to be speaking about this as much as possible and also getting as much research done, finding out as much information as we need. So let's get right into it. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. Share. Please share this. Somebody out there might really need to know this information. But otherwise, let's get right into it. So, this article by the South African Federation for Mental Health was released on the 7th of May in 2024. So, it is a bit of an older one, but they have really relevant articles. Okay, in January, they released Mental Health Has No Face. Oh, behind the scenes of creating my first digital film. Okay, next one in January as well was Mental Health and Diverse Festive Experiences. In March, National Youth Advocacy Forum 2025-2026 meeting. So they do a lot of updates. I just found this one that they spoke about self-harm. That's the one that has been from a while ago, but I find it to still be really important and prevalent, and let's go through it. Welcome back to our Explainer blog series, where we unpack specific mental health conditions and share stories of those with lived experience. In this edition, we are focusing on self-harm. Any behavior that causes harm to oneself as a way to deal with difficult emotions can be seen as self-harm. That's said by UNICEF in 2024. So that's what we understand. The definition of self-harm, basically the understanding is any behavior that causes harm to oneself as a way to deal with difficult emotions that can be seen. That's what can be seen as self-harm. In 2023, 60% of South African youth felt that they needed mental health support. This was according to the latest UNICEF South African Youth Report 4, which was released in October 2023. Youth in the country are facing immense uncertainty and pressures and often feel misunderstood and unheard. Their feelings can lead many to self-harm. I think it's, I don't know how to feel, but it's my feeling is more on the positive side. That I am happy that it was found that the South African youth, the South African youth were opening enough to express that they need help, for it to be able to be a statistic that we can now put under 60% in 2023. That is a lot. That's way too much. But for the fact that people were speaking out about it is a very helpful thing, because it allows for chances of research and it allows for chances of offering help. Self-harm is a behavior that is common amongst youth and young people, okay? And it continues to be something that is misunderstood. This is why we're having this conversation. We want to get rid of anything that comes with being misunderstood. According to the UK-based Mental Health Foundation, while self-harm is something that can affect anyone, it's believed that around 10% of young people self-harm, but it could be as high as 20%, according to the Mental Health Foundation in 2023. And I understand that it could be as high as 20%. It's a heartbreaking thing that it's already on 10%. but not as many people are speaking out about it. So there is a very good chance that it's much, 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 much higher than that. People who self-harm usually start doing it as a way of dealing with a lot of different and difficult emotions that they do not know how to process. This was true for Dintle, who started self-harming at the age of 14. My heart, oh Dintle, my heart breaks for that 14-year-old. Oh, that little baby that didn't know. And she says, growing up, I always struggled to express myself. I didn't know how to speak about my emotions. I've always bottled them, and no one ever knew what I was going through. I felt that if I had told anyone what I was going through, they would see me as a burden or weak. This is why the work that we do, we find to be so important with Sibahla Wellness Initiative, trying to remind people that you are not alone. That's our major thing. Major thing. It's just to say you are not alone. It is because when you're struggling with your mental health, the big thing that you're dealing with is feeling alone and feeling like you are a burden, and also not wanting to show signs of weakness. Because sometimes you tend to compare yourself to other people and be like, they're going through this and this and they're doing just fine, they're not struggling. How come me, in my situation, I can't deal with it? So you don't want to seem as if you are weak because you're not seeing anybody else expressing themselves as weak, and you already feel like you're a burden. And then in turn, loneliness. So you are not alone. Causes of self-harm differ from person to person. However, some reasons reported by young people who have self-harmed include loneliness, feelings of guilt or being unloved. That breaks my heart. I hate to hear anyone feeling like they are unloved. It's a very, very, very bad place to be in. It's a sad feeling to go through. So yeah, okay. Low self-esteem or issues with body image, especially around the teenage years, body image becomes a thing, but also in young adults as well. Body image becomes a very, very big problem. Body dysmorphia, that's where it comes in. And the pressures of having what we see on social media adds onto it, you know? Witnessing or experiencing abuse at home, school, or in a relationship. These are all relationships that need different ways of navigating. A romantic relationship is different from the relationship you'll have with whoever at school and whoever at home. Those can be stressful and a little difficult, and abuse if it's involved, bullying, criticism from family, friends, or teachers, and bullying. Dintle says, I felt I had too many emotions inside of me and I didn't know what to do about it. So that is when I started self-harming. And if that is you, I mean, let me know in the comments. I don't even know if that's a conversation that, that's the difficult thing about having conversations about mental health, especially on social media. People don't interact, but they do listen and they watch and they learn. And the worry about interacting comes back to, I'm not sure I'm ready to be seen with the struggles that I have. It's almost as if you need to get to a more healed place before you can start being like, okay, I'm ready to be vulnerable with anyone, a stranger on the internet, and be like, hey, I know what you're talking about. So there's no one way to self-harm. Most people who self-harm do not speak about it, and it is important to watch out for the warning signs. UNICEF has offered the following list that you can take note of. Okay, we're taking notes now, and this is from UNICEF, so we understand and we know what the signs of self-harm look like. Cuts, burns, bruises, or scars on people's bodies. I think we're generally familiar with that. It's usually on their arms, on their stomach, or on their thighs. Okay. Wearing clothes that hide these physical signs, like long sleeve shirts, making excuses about injuries, carrying sharp objects. Okay, going back, that making excuses about injuries, very important one. That's what people that are also going through DV do, physical abuse. Like, they tend to be making excuses for their injuries. Oh, sorry, I just bumped into this. Oh, so I just fell on my face. Nothing hit, to try to dismiss it real quick. Most of the time we ask people about their injuries because you already have an inclination. You already have something that is saying, this is not normal. Carrying sharp objects with them like knives and scissors. Talking about feelings of pain, discomfort, weakness, sickness, or dizziness. feelings of shame, disgust, confusion or fear, feeling a lack of control, isolation or loneliness, signs of low self-esteem such as blaming themselves for any problems or saying they are not good enough. This is really helpful so we can be a lot more observant. I wanted to say slightly more observant, but a lot more observant. Myths and stigma. There are many myths and misconceptions around self-harm, including people who self-harm are suicidal. Self-harm is attention-seeking. People who self-harm enjoy doing it. Ooh. That is sad to hear, that people think that people who self-harm enjoy doing. But I understand that, because especially if you're self-harming in ways that are not obvious, but sometimes in ways that are obvious, and people are just like, if you're going to put yourself through that pain of cutting yourself like that and doing it again, that means you're good with it. Myths and stigma, definitely a very big misconception putting that on people. I just want to remind you that this article, the link to it will be in the description, so you can have a look at it. It is a bit of a long article and I'm trying to go through the stuff that is really important. Finding support. Dintle says, during my journey with self-harm, I really didn't have someone who I could talk to or who could relate to me. And that's a difficult thing, because a lot of times we find that a lot of people relate with us, guys. Like, in all honesty, a lot of people relate with mental health struggles. It's just difficult in the moment because you can't spot them from just looking at them, and you're not too sure if they're going to understand and if they're going to relate. You already feel shame yourself, and you definitely do not want to be speaking to someone that you think is going to be adding on to that shame. She also says, being open is a good thing. Showing vulnerability is a good thing. It is brave of you to open up and speak to someone about what you are going through. Being able to have the strength to tell someone what you are going through is something to admire. It's a sign of big ass bravery. It is a sign of strength for you to say, I need help. You can feel your symptoms of flu, and it is easy for you to get up and be like, oh, my throat is being weird, guys, I need help. Like somebody who has ginger tea, who has, having the same energy when it comes to your mental health shows how much you care for yourself, actually. It shows that you're not going down the route of self-harming for the fun of it. It shows that you are still really brave, and it definitely is something to admire. So lastly, if you suspect that you or someone you know may be self-harming, always seek help from a mental health professional. If you're interested in connecting with the organization in your province, feel free to reach out to us via our inquiries help desk. You will find it on their website. And for those looking for more guidance, you can head to our website and check out our information library. So resources are available, guys. If you or a loved one is feeling hopeless and or having unaliving thoughts, please contact the South African Depression and Anxiety Crisis Line on 0800 567 567 or SMS 31393. You can also contact Dr. Reddy's Mental Health Helpline on 0800 21 22 23 and Adcock Ingram Depression and Anxiety Helpline on 0800 708090. These numbers are free. And counseling is available in all 11 official languages. Wow, look at help is available, resources are available. I hope you get to reach out to any of them if you feel the need to do that. But you just watching this video already just shows, your interest in all of this stuff. But thank you so much for watching up until this point. Please don't forget to check out our social media platforms at Special Wellness Initiative and having a look at our website as well. Maybe we will be in contact there by navigation and so on. Let's get ourselves together. Remember, you are not alone, and let's continue with Self-Harm Awareness Month this March. I'll see you in the next one.